This leads us to the third truth, the one most people misunderstand. Ethos 3. Confidence comes from action, not before it. I'll say that again. Confidence comes from action, successfully doing things, not before it. If somebody has what looks like confidence beforehand, I'll share a little story here. Some of you may not have heard it. Other ones may have, but again, I'm in reminder mode tonight, right? Not fake confidence. Fake confidence will collapse like a house of cards as soon as the right condition or the wrong condition is applied. That fake confidence, that fake bravado, that person will fold like a bad piece of Japanese origami, right? So this ethos, right? Confidence comes from action, not before it. This is the rebuttal, right? This is the counterintuitive perspective to I'm not ready. Who am I? And who am I to do this now? Right? I'm not one of the lucky ones or the privileged ones or whatever self-deprecating or self-sabotaging belief systems people have that need to be ferreted out like a cancerous tumor and thrown as far away from them as they can possibly throw it. Okay? So, while we're at warrior analogies, right? Let me just start by saying that no samurai ever felt worthy before their first battle. No warrior has ever felt worthy before their first battle. Right? There isn't a single story in the history of warrior traditions where someone said, like, first off, going out in the battle, going out in the field, right? I feel perfectly ready. I feel totally confident. I feel completely worthy. I know the romanticized stories might show that kind of stuff, but yeah. Okay. No samurai, no ninja, no warrior of any culture entered their first confrontation feeling fully prepared. Right? They might have been prepared to die, or at least that was the philosophy, the idea. Right? And that includes me. And that includes other people that were in the military police unit that I was in what was that? 83, 84, something like that, right? When we found ourselves on a C-130 transport plane on the way to a little tiny island nation near Cuba called Grenada, right in the middle of the hot stuff. Snipers, firefights, right? As a matter of fact, we landed a couple hours, if not a day, after we had booted the Russians out of their embassy, sent them off the island, and one of them left a grenade in a cinder block with the pin pulled, right? Just kind of in there with the spoon being held in place, that yours truly sat on or near, because the airfield that we landed on was the only secure place on the island. The island of Grenada, circumference-wise, is about the size of inner city Philadelphia. And there's no place to go but up on a single piered little mountain-ish kind of thing, right? This big fucking hill, or the ocean. So I didn't know about the grenade until next day, 2 days later, when there was a report of the grenade going off when one of our engineers took a heavy-duty bulldozer to lift up some of these blocks to move them over to a wall they were building, right? So if you ever visit Grenada now, it's a great vacation hotspot. I'd love to return to it. Great little Caribbean place. The airport, the terminal, courtesy of the United States Army Corps of Engineers. Right? I'm sure it's been beefed up since then, since it's been a couple of decades, but the original thing, right? Landing strip was started by the Russians and the Cubans, and we finished it. But anyway, landed, and lots of interesting moments. One of which was the first instruction we had was to lock and load uh, and mount up sniper reports on the only road to get where we were going. Okay. That didn't take confidence. People keep telling me it took some courage, but let me tell you what did happen. Some of you already know the story. All the yahoos that played John Wayne during field training exercises, nowhere near a real war, the ones that ran around, kill a commie for mommy, all that kind of crap going on, right? Yeah. Ones crying and praying and pissing themselves on the jump seats farther down from me. What was I doing? Staring at the far side of the plane, the fuselage, M16 between my knees, running through training scenarios. I hated field work. I wanted to be a cop. Just let me be a cop. But I had to go do soldier shit, right? I hated getting dirty. Not that I only camping and all that kind of stuff. It was just, I didn't like it, right? But I still did it. Running through these scenarios. The plane doesn't get vaporized before we hit the ground. That door opens. I'm going to look for X, Y, Z, dun, 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 right? But what broke through that was all that false bravado falling down around me. The only person I can say that was truly confident in that plane was the sergeant sitting right next to me, who was the desk sergeant back at Fort Bragg, where I worked on the desk crew at that time. And he served 3 tours in Nam. See, confidence came after, okay, for him. Okay. I have lots of experience. What I have confidence in is not that I can handle any situation, because I'll always do my best, and lots of things will make me shake in my shoes and be nervous and all that kind of stuff. Okay. What I am supremely confident in, because it's a skill I've developed over the years, is figuring out what the problem is so I can apply the right answer if it doesn't kill me first. Okay. So confident, let's not confuse bragging and the sitting around the table bullshitting about or talking about, or excusing away a stupid, deadly mistake in a technique. Well, in a real fight, what I would really, no, bullshit. You were surprised in that moment. That's what fucking came out. Your combine looked like shit. Your timing was off and you got tagged. Don't tell me what you would do in a real fight, because that wasn't real and you got knifed. So ego can tell me any story it wants, but it's BS, right? That's what false confidence looks like. Okay. It's the kind of stuff that's built on false bravado during training, or those BS talks again around the water cooler at work or whatever, right? What it looks like when it's crashing down. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's when the pissing and the praying and the crying starts, if the person is still breathing. Okay. Confidence is not a prerequisite. Confidence is a consequence. Consequence is an effect of very specific causes that are action based, that give us the skill sets and the experience needed to go into harsher and harsher situations without folding. It is earned from taking action, not from thinking about taking action. Courage comes from stepping forward, not from waiting for certainty. And the warrior who takes one small step gains more confidence than the one who hesitates for a lifetime. And again, just a couple of examples of what this looks like in a modern application, right? I'm too old now. I'm too out of shape. I've been away for too long. Everyone else is ahead of me. I'll look stupid if I return. But again, the cold hard truth is action builds confidence. Sustained action, right? Getting through the mistakes, getting through the, right? Learning what caused the mistakes, eliminating those things so that we get better and better at those things. And then, like, things that we're confident in, wouldn't even think about doing them. Right? Everybody's confident. They probably wouldn't even describe it this way, right? I'm absolutely confident in my ability to drive a car. Unless somebody's a brand new teenager just starting to drive, who might say that, right? But if you hop in your freaking car and you drive to work or you drive to the store or whatever, and you give barely any attention to the operation of that vehicle and all the cars driving around you at whatever speed, not having any clue about who the freaking drivers are, what their health conditions are, the fact that they could stroke out, have a heart attack, be on the phone, have a seizure or whatever at any given freaking moment, drive into you, right? We just, right? Because our experience has borne out certain outcomes. And we've been doing it for so friggin' long that now when somebody looks like they're not going to stop at a stop sign and we do those 100+ little micro movements and flip them off and call them a couple of 4-letter expletives because our brain and our body has extra reserves consciously because all the other shit for survival is taken care of subconsciously. Most people wouldn't call that confidence, but it absolutely is. Right? The truth is that action builds confidence. Hesitation, on the other hand, builds fear. The longer we hesitate, the more things we can think about to be worried about. And the more we worry about those things, it's like rubbing salt in a festering wound. All right? So, kind of summarize this, right? 3 ethos all point together, right? So, if you feel stuck right now, right? Or just remember this for the next time that you do, right? If you feel stuck in training, in life, in a relationship, in your career, okay? Remember these 3 warrior truths. 1, momentum beats motivation every single time. 2, you don't need perfect conditions. You need progress, right? And 3, confidence comes from action, not before it, right? These principles are true whether you're facing an attacker, you're facing a daunting project, a challenging relationship, or the simple desire to reclaim the warrior you once were or you once dreamed about.